Welcome to LEGO Battlebots, the Battle of the Builders. We are finally here after months of hype. I guess kind of hype. I missed those couple months in the fall, but I do that every year, so it's fine. And I should probably explain to you what exactly the format is. We've got 4 heats of 5 bots each, and in these 5 heats, each bot will take on each other once. It is a round-robin format. Every bot in a heat will take on every other bot, and the top 4 bots will advance to a final single elimination 16 bot bracket. But notably, the top bot, well, each bot will be ranked on like where they end up in their heat. So the top bots of each heat, the number 1 bots, will be in the top 4 seeds. The 2 ranked bots will be in the 5 to 8 seeds. 3 in the 9 to 12 seeds, and then 4, 13 to 16. So you do want to do well in your own heats, try and get as high a seed as possible, so you in theory get an easy path to the championship. Well, so now that I've explained on how this format works, let's see who our first fight is between. Our first fight sees Heatwave taking on Bad Revolution. Heatwave built by the Bits Team Heatwave. I mean, it's kind of obvious right there. And Heatwave is a pretty big vertical spinner with some pretty long forks. Now that weapon, that tooth, does seem to be exposed, but at least there was some effort put into designing that tooth so that it will not just simply break on immediately touching another bot. As for Bad Revolution, it's a bit built by 8 for Owls. It's a bit more normal design for a vertical spinner. Those wheels don't actually touch the floor, so all of Bad Revolution's chassis is on the floor. Neither of these bots can self-right, so it's gonna come down to the ground game to see who can really flip over the other. And both these bots are actually have at some points been in Robot Rumble 2, so there's a little bit more of a rivalry going on there, but it's gonna be all important to see who can take that first win and move out ahead early in this heat. So let's go down to the arena to see Battle of the Builders finally actually start. Let the Battle of the Builders begin. Both bots spinning up the weapons, and it's Bad Revolution getting underneath first, ripping off one of those inner forks of Heatwave, but Heatwave still has 3 left. Now just 2 left as they also take off a piece of Bad Revolution somehow, and now Heatwave getting underneath. That might have done some damage to Bad Revolution with that shot, but Bad Revolution just gets underneath, rips off another fork. Heatwave now has no forks left. Bad Revolution has picked those places apart and flips Heatwave over. Bad Revolution doesn't go in for another shot. This is gonna be it. The countdown has started as Bad Revolution is going to take down Heatwave and get the first win of Battle of the Builders. Well, Bad Revolution just had the low ground. As I said, it's gonna come down to who could get underneath and who could flip the other over, and Bad Revolution just ripped those forks apart. Heatwave only got 1 real shot in, and Bad Revolution just finished the fight, flipped them over. Bad Revolution jumps out to an early lead at 1-0, while Heatwave falls to 0-1 in the first fight. But there's still 3 fights left for both these bots, and their fates could change dramatically as the episode continues. Our second fight sees the Flipper Emulsion take on the Hammer of Pirate's Curse. Go from 2 big spinners to the 2 non-spinners. Each heat has 3 spinners and 3 spinners and 2 non-spinners, so that balances out pretty well. Emulsion, built by LEGO Mayhem Robotics, got pretty similar weaknesses to a lot of its flippers. It's pretty fragile, as the flipper does take up a lot of that internal body space, but it does have like a Technic beam in the middle, so try and limit that, but it is still fairly fragile. But at least it does have ground game. Took a lot of inspiration from Hydra, at least my version did, and it does have the capability to get underneath other bots. It's got cheese slopes on the side wedges and in the flipper, while Pirate's Curse, built by King Kion Army, is built of a lot of brown pieces, so yeah, those pieces are not very durable, but the overall structure of the bot itself is pretty sound, and those forks are pretty good. But it is a hammer, and most hammers aren't very consistent at best at dealing taking serious damage. So it's going to be interesting to see how these two bots interact, but Emotion probably the least durable overall bot here, so this is a good test for Pirate's Curse. And also Emotion, it's a good test for their flipper as well. Pirate's Curse is fairly heavy, so let's see what happens down the arena. Let the bot battle begin. And Pirate's Curse lands a shot with that hammer directly to the flipper of Emotion, but that's not going to do too much, but Emotion lands the first flip. Decent tumble, well, that Pirate's Curse was sound, but now they're getting underneath, bringing that hammer down, flipping Emotion using the screws. Great control by Pirate's Curse, as Emotion is able to self-right, but Pirate's Curse gets right back underneath with those long forks and bring that hammer down. Emotion lands another flip, but loses its left side, which in the process, Pirate's Curse loses a fork, but Emotion is taking some serious damage. And now Emotion is in the corner as Pirate's Curse dropping that hammer on them. And there goes a piece flying out of there. But Pirate's Curse backing away now as Emotion can no longer move. The countdown is on. And this looks like it's going to be a victory for the hammer bot.
Knockout.
Well, Emotion struck first, landing a decent flip. But Pirate's Curse was able to really dominate in damage and just really rip Emotion apart. Emotion did prove that that flipper was certainly capable of putting bots over, but Pirate's Curse outlasted them, took them out, and got the win. Pirate's Curse joins Bad Revolution at 1-0, while Emotion falls to 0-1 with Heatwave. Now we'll see Inverse take on one of the 4 bots with 1 fight already. It is Inverse versus Heatwave. Heatwave taking that unfortunate loss to Bad Revolution in their first fight. Those forks did not hold up, and they could in fact not self-right. We never really saw too much out of that weapon though, which could still be a wild card against Inverse, who has a very proven powerful weapon, but ground game is the main issue with that. But Inverse, of course, sort of a veteran on the channel, built by Lisa Everidge. It made it, I believe, to the qualification fights of Season 3, where it lost to Venom Strike after earning its place, taking victory against Blue Flame in Challengers, then went 2-2 in Season 3, and then lost the fight to Venom Strike. But they are here to prove that they get that kind of marquee competition and prove that they are beyond middle of the pack. So let's see what happens down the arena. Let the bot battle begin, and this fight could be decided in the first hit. Inverse has flipped Heatwave, and look at that, they're going back on the attack, trying to flip it back. Oh boy, this is going to be a bit longer fight, isn't it? And oh! Nice solid shot as Inverse goes right up the forks of Heatwave. Oh my god! Well, that certainly changes the dynamic of this fight. Heatwave, how do you like being a control bot? No, doesn't matter. And there goes the 2 outer forks of Heatwave. Well, it's doing a pretty good job at being a control bot. Got Inverse in the screws. Though it's not hard to control Inverse, to win a control battle against Inverse. Inverse can hardly control itself, let alone another bot. And there goes the rest of that spinner. The tooth did last longer than the rest of the disc. The tooth did not, in fact, rip out first. But with jokes aside, Heatwave is genuinely doing a good job of controlling Inverse, and Inverse has already caused some serious damage to Heatwave, so this could be a serious slugfest that we have developing. I think it's been at least a minute. Pretty long already. Yeah, most fights on the channel do end by knockout, but Heatwave getting Inverse back into the screws. And Inverse is kind of used to these long, drawn-out battles, and Heatwave is adapting fairly well. In fact, it's doing better without the spinner than it was with it. But there goes one of the inner forks, Inverse changing up its approach, and that allows it to flip Heatwave over again. And suddenly, this fight is over once more. Inverse takes the win and drops Heatwave to 0-2. Inverse came out with a bang and flipped both bots over, but they did self-right and right Heatwave, but that shot was what seriously changed the tone of this fight, completely shattering Heatwave's disc, forcing Heatwave to become a control bot, especially after losing those outer forks. It was not looking good for Heatwave, but they adapted, they held up well against Inverse's discs, I mean, after Luke taking all that damage, of course, and did a decent job of controlling Inverse, but Inverse eventually switched things up, went for the inner forks, and then flipped Heatwave over to take the knockout victory. With that win, Inverse joins Bad Revolution and Pirate's Curse at 1-0, while Heatwave already falls to a dangerous 0-2. For our fourth fight, it's Bad Revolution taking on Emulsion. Bad Revolution sitting at 1-0, so a win would do wonders for their chance here. It would almost guarantee them a spot in the top 16. As for Emulsion sitting at 0-1, they really do need to get this win in order to really keep their chances up. But Bad Revolution is pointing to be the better bot in this fight. That chassis is a lot more solid than Emulsion's is, and Bad Revolution has proven to have a capable ground game already, but Emulsion could get underneath that. Those wedges with the two-stud gap in the middle could be very much exploited by Emulsion, and Bad Revolution can't self-right. So it's going to be interesting to see if Emulsion can take advantage of that, or Bad Revolution is going to take the win. So let's see what happens down the arena. Let the bot battle begin. Bad Revolution get underneath Emulsion to start. That's not a good sign. And ooh, big slam to the wall by Bad Revolution as they continue to just slip underneath Emulsion. There goes part of one of the front wedges, and Emulsion is struggling for answers here, as they are getting beaten around early. There goes the flipper, and things are already dire for the flipper. That looks like it's gonna be it there. Bad Revolution with a quick, clean, and dominant performance, not taking a single flip and tearing their opponent apart. Well, that was easier for Bad Revolution than the Heatwave fight was, as they just completely dominated that fight, completely dominated the ground game. Emulsion literally couldn't do anything to stop them. Once the flipper came off, we knew the fight was over, and Bad Revolution quickly put them to bed to go to 2-0. Bad Revolution rises to 2-0, and the match between the 0-2 Emulsion and Heatwave is going to be a pretty critical one for this heat. But now we go to Inverse versus Pirate's Curse to round out the half. This match is a crucial one for both of these bots, as whoever wins this fight, it does actually clinch a spot in the top 16 along with Bad Revolution. Inverse holds the tiebreaker over Heatwave. So if both bots go 2-2, then Inverse gets ahead of them, and Pirate's Curse holds the tiebreaker over Emulsion. So if both bots go 2-2, then Pirate's Curse has a tiebreaker to win that one. Losing this fight, still capable of holding on, but things would be a lot more tenuous. As Inverse all about that big weapon, as we saw against Heatwave, but Pirate's Curse is a lot more durable than Heatwave, and also can actually self-right, though that weapon power is much less, though that didn't really matter in the Heatwave fight for Inverse. Although it's going to be interesting to see if those forks of Pirate's Curse do hold up, or if they're able to control Inverse enough and slow it down consistently to get the victory. Let's see what happens down the arena. Let the bot battle begin. Pirate's Curse deflects Inverse off of its forks, and going on the attack with that hammer early, they've already taken out one of the stands that keeps Inverse's weapon from hitting the floor, and they are going on the attack with that hammer. They are keeping Inverse boxed in. There goes another one, as Inverse is really struggling with Pirate's Curse, not letting them go that quickly, and there was a third, and that is going to cripple Inverse's weapon for the rest of this fight. Pirate's Curse looking to take out the last one just to do a funny, but it doesn't seem like they're going to be able to get at least for now. But with the sheer pressure they are exerting on Inverse, I would not be surprised if they get that done by the end of this fight. Inverse is a fairly easy bot to cripple, but a hard bot to kill, and there goes the tip of Pirate's Curse's hammer. Now, this is just a real struggle for Inverse. They try to get the weapon going there, but Pirate's Curse, having none of it, launches them into the screws, and they are just dominating this fight. Inverse has had no opportunities to do anything whatsoever, and Pirate's Curse has just completely dominated them in every category. The question is, can they finish the job, or will this go to the judges? And they will finish the job, putting them in the pit. That was the only time Inverse got to use this weapon that entire fight. Pirate's Curse was on them from the start, just hitting them incessantly with that hammer, and they were able to take out those struts pretty early on. As I said, Inverse is an easy bot to cripple. You can take out the supports and that weapon is dead, but it's a very hard bot to kill. Well, Pirate's Curse was able to get the knockout, but it was via pitting and not by actually knocking them out. Pirate's Curse moves to 2-0 with an incredibly dominant win. So at the halfway point, here are the standings. Bad Revolution and Pirate's Curse sit at 2-0, basically having clinched spots in the playoff bracket. Inverse sits at 1-1, and Emulsion and Heatwave sit at the bottom at 0-2. And here we go in perhaps the most crucial fight of the Heat up to now. Heatwave versus Emulsion. If Heatwave loses this fight, they cannot make it to the playoffs. They are eliminated. If Emulsion loses, they will have to hope that Inverse loses it out, which requires Bad Revolution to beat Inverse, definitely possible, and for them to beat Inverse, which is also possible, but they have to get those two fights down. But they could win this fight against Heatwave and not have to worry about that at all. But both bots are really playing for their chances here. Whoever loses is in serious trouble. But it's going to come down to ground game once again, as it is with most fights in the field. Heatwave's weapon could do some serious damage to Emulsion, but if Emulsion gets underneath and flips him over, Heatwave can't self-right, so they could potentially deny that weapon entirely. Let's see the results of this crucial fight down the arena. Let the bot battle begin. Ooh, Heatwave lands a nasty shot to Emulsion, but Emulsion gets underneath and flips Heatwave, and that is going to do significantly more, as Emulsion is now has Heatwave at its mercy, and that's gonna be it. Well, Heatwave struck first, but Emulsion went right back on the attack, did not care at all. Flipped Heatwave and then threw them into the pit, securing their place in the playoffs. While Emulsion won't be making it to the top A of the bracket due to the top two bots holding tiebreakers over it, it still makes the playoffs, which Heatwave will not, and Inverse will. So we've got the top 4 bots currently right now will remain in the top 4. The remaining 4 fights are just going to be for matters of seeding only, but those seeds could very well be important. So let's move on to our next fight. This match between Inverse and Bad Revolution is a pretty critical one. And with the Bad Revolution Pirate's Curse match still in the future, if Inverse could take the win here and really even things out, then the battles for the top seeds could be pretty interesting. But if Bad Revolution wins, they're looking to run away with this heat, and Inverse will be locked out of the top 8, and it will be between Bad Revolution and Pirate's Curse to see who gets that top 4 seed. But Bad Revolution has been looking rock solid so far, but they have taken on the 2 weakest bots in the field at this point. And as for Inverse, it looked pretty decent against Heatwave, but it wasn't able to get the job done quickly, though they could have after taking that big hit in the first hit. And they got completely dominated by Pirate's Curse, so it's going to be really interesting to just for Inverse as a whole, just to see how they perform in this fight. Bad Revolution, I imagine, still be favored because they've just been rock solid, but we'll just have to see if that continues or if Inverse is able to pull it off down the arena. Let the bot battle begin. Bad Revolution getting underneath Inverse, knocking them over in the first hit of the fight, trying to get them into the screws, but Inverse able to slip away, able to get that weapon back up to speed, land a little jab, but they can't seem to get underneath Bad Revolution's weapon. Could cause some problems if that continues, as Bad Revolution is continuing to go on the attack. Ooh, solid shot there from Bad Revolution as Inverse They're struggling to do much of anything up to this point in the fight, and there goes Inverse into the screws. We've seen him flop around a lot. It looks like at least oh yeah, definitely some of the weapon supports are gone. Inverse is going to lose its weapon for the remainder of this fight. Not good for Inverse. They did not want that to happen. Bad Revolution, though, definitely did, as they no longer have to worry about that giant disc, which is really the only, besides invertibility, the only thing Inverse outclasses Bad Revolution is in raw weapon power. And Bad Revolution has been able to deliver that a lot more effectively with those solid wedges, and just being able to control the pace of this fight. Inverse tried to get its weapon back up there, but it did absolutely nothing, just bouncing off of the wedges. And there's a solid shot from Bad Revolution, showcasing the power of that tried and true weapon design. This is the same type of spring that we've, at least same shape of spring that we've seen on bots like Monochrome, who are known for their weapon power, so it's not surprising that a disc of a similar caliber on a smaller bot could also prove to be very effective, especially when paired with solid wedge design. Oh, just like that, Bad Revolution continuing to pour it on as Inverse has been, give them credit, they have been surviving this onslaught. I don't think they have any supports for their weapon left, so they're not going to be able to get their weapon going at basically any angle now, even if they wanted to. I mean, they want to, but they just can't. And Bad Revolution has been in complete control of this fight, but there's... oh, that was close. It was Bad Revolution nearly flipped itself over, but fortunately managed to stay upright, and that's it. Well, this was a dominant performance by Bad Revolution, and this was just a slaughter. They broke off the weapon supports, and Inverse was able to hold on. And that is a good sign for Inverse, that they're able to keep holding on in these fights. You saw sometimes you can wait out on a miracle. We've seen that happen a lot before in fights like Riptide v Hypershock. And it almost happened here. Bad Revolution almost flipped itself. And Bad Revolution can't self-right, but they did not. And in the end, Bad Revolution got the out of the arena victory. Bad Revolution secures its third win in a row and a top 8 spot, while Inverse's dreams of the top 8 are long gone, and then they'll have to settle with facing Emulsion for a 9-12 seed. To kick open the back quarter of the Heat, we have Pirate's Curse taking on Heatwave. Pirate's Curse fighting for a top 4 seed. They've gone 2-0 already, and the durability is on their side. Heatwave already has been picked apart 3 times. They went destroyed against Emulsion, but they lost pretty dominant fashion. Heatwave is just trying to stop the bleeding at this point. They're already out, so they're just looking for a maybe spoiler win, some consolation before they head into Season 4. Nobody wants to head into a competition going completely winless in the previous one. But Pirate's Curse is definitely going to make that difficult. They'll be fighting for a top 4 seed, obviously. Yeah, and with that durability and their ability itself, right, and those pretty strong forks as well, Heatwave's fork durability has been an issue throughout this heat. It's not looking good for Heatwave, but maybe they can pull something off. Let's see down the arena. Let the bot battle begin. Heatwave spins up and Pirate's Curse gets underneath, dropping that hammer down, trying to break those forks. And can't tell if any of them are gone. 2 of them are gone. The left outer and right inner forks are gone. And that is going to make things a lot more difficult for Pirate's Curse. For Heatwave, sorry. As the other 2 forks break, and Heatwave is on its face, and this fight is over.
9,
Pirate's Curse getting a dominant win, advancing to 3-0, while Heatwave will fall to 0-4.
1 knockout.
Well, it's more misery for Heatwave, but at least Pirate's Curse made it quick, ripping off the forks and then just flipping over for a quick knockout to go to 3-0. With that loss, Heatwave ends its campaign at 0-4. Hopefully they do better in Season 4. But as for Pirate's Curse, they join Bad Revolution at 3-0, and their fight at the end of the heat is gonna be for a top 4 seed, so that's gonna definitely be a fight you don't want to miss. However, before we get to that fight, we will see Emulsion take on Inverse. Both bots currently sit at 1 and 2. The winner will get a seed between 9 and 12, the loser gets a bottom 4 seed, so even though both bots aren't playing for a high seed, they still really want to win this fight. Emulsion, those durability issues have been a problem, but at least they were able to prove that their flipper is capable against Pirate's Curse and Emulsion. As for Inverse, we know that weapon is powerful and reliable. Well, if Emulsion can break those weapon supports, then Inverse is in for a rough time, but if Inverse can avoid that and just keep Emulsion at bay, they can pretty easily rip it apart. Let's see who wins this fight down the arena. Let the battle begin. Oh, little jab there, and there goes the tip of Emulsion's flipper. Let's go off, and now Inverse gets flipped, but Emulsion is taking some serious damage, losing the right side of its drive there, as that is going to really cripple its chances. Inverse significantly more mobile now, and Emulsion is just getting battered around. I think the other side wedge has come off, and Inverse looking to finish this fight, and that's going to do it. Emulsion getting counted out, and while they'll still make the tournament, they are going to be a bottom 4 seed.
Knockout.
Inverse on the attack from the get-go. Emulsion just could not handle the attacks and the kinetic energy of that spinner. They were just ripped apart, giving Inverse a clean and decisive knockout victory to end the heat. With Inverse taking the win and the higher seed over Emulsion, it's time for the final fight of the heat between the 3-0 Bad Revolution and Pirate's Curse to see who will claim a top 4 seed. Bad Revolution and Pirate's Curse have been dominant throughout this entire heat, just basically annihilating all of their opponents up to this point without too much resistance. Now it's going to come down to this final fight, and both bots are well built. I mean, these are some solidly durable designs. And Bad Revolution does have the advantage in weapon power, but Pirate's Curse generally, because those forks are, I believe, are less damaged than the wedges of Bad Revolution. Bad Revolution's wedges are a bit older, I believe. I could be wrong. But the Pirate's Curse again underneath, Bad Revolution can self-right, and Pirate's Curse definitely has the hammer capable of flipping a bot over. Bad Revolution and might be able to flip Pirate's Curse over, but Pirate's Curse can self-right. So it's going to come down to ground game, as, again, I keep saying, it's going to come down to ground game, because that's basically every fight. And whoever wins that is probably going to win this fight. Let's see who's able to do that down the arena. Let the battle begin. Bad Revolution gets underneath, puts Pirate's Curse in the screws, and out of the arena. Well, that's the end of the fight, and Bad Revolution will be going 4-0. Bad Revolution sweeps the table, it goes 4-0, and will claim a top 4 seed in the final bracket. Pirate's Curse goes 3-1, a solid 5-8 seed. Inverse at 2-2 gets a 9-12 seed, and Emulsion at 1-3 gets a 13-16 seed. As for Heatwave, well, we'll see it in Season 4. Well, that's it for this heat. We will see you again with Heat B. See you next time.